No, thank you very much, Program Director, members of the Executive Council present here today. I know that 90% of members of the Executive Council are here, except those that I've delegated to attend to other pressing matters. The Speaker of the District Municipality is very young, by the way. And you will realize that we are having young people today. The Speaker of the Municipality of Matlosana, she's also very young. Councillors who are here present today, the National Anti-Corruption Advisory Council, led by Matlosana, the South African Police Service and other law enforcement agencies that are present, leaders of faith-based organizations, Makhosi a rona, representatives from other provinces, because we have representatives from other provinces who have shown an interest to spend this day with us. Bagaetsho dumelang. Now, the three former speakers who came to the podium, Stella Mondlana, Kolile Ngozana, Viola Mutsumi, all of them, they are young. And all of them, they always say it is their time to lead. So we're exposing them today. But what is clear is that the Honorable Viola Mutsumi, as part of their agenda to push us out, she says, I qualify to be a veteran. So it's just part of the normal agenda. So we are aware of this agenda. So now I see that you are smiling and you are happy, all of you. Now I want to change the mode from that happiness. Time is now 10:10. I was supposed to address this gathering at 9:20. Time is 10:10. I arrived here at 7:15 in the morning. Those who were given the responsibility to sweep, they were not here. I had to wait in the vehicle because they had to be called. Come quickly, you need to come and sweep, and so on. The Premier has already arrived. At 8:10, some of the MEC had not yet arrived. They started coming in very late. One of them is MEC Mohono. She entered the briefing and she disrupted the briefing by making noise and so on. Now, I have another activity, by the way, at Sun City with the MEC for Finance and the Auditor General. From here, we must rush to that meeting. Now, we are starting late here. What it means all other meetings that I'm going to attend today, I'm going to be late because of you. So once you are late in the first meeting, you are going to be late in all other meetings. So we want to appeal that the part of attending to these issues of corruption is to be punctual to meetings. Because if you are not punctual to a meeting, it means you are corrupt. You are busy with other things that are not in line with what we are doing in the country. So punctuality is very important. So I want to appeal to all of you, because you are leaders in different sectors and so on. Just respect time. Because when you respect time, it means you are also respecting yourself. Now, Program Director, it is indeed an honor and privilege to be addressing this important gathering, which is aimed at addressing awareness on issues of corruption. On the 29th of August, 2022, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa appointed the National Anti-Corruption Advisory Council to strengthen the country's fight against fraud and corruption, as well as other malfeasance that are impacting negatively on our country. In this council, we hope that you will be, Honorable Mutlauli, also assist us on issues that are affecting this country by ensuring that you respond to recommendations of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry on the state capture. You'll have to get into that space because we need also to move. Because once there is an inquiry, work is done, there are recommendations, and we take time to implement, it means there's a problem somewhere. So working together with you and so on, we hope that we'll be able to address this issue. I'm also elated that we are hosting members of this council as part of a strategy to ensure that our province in particular has a zero tolerance approach to corruption. And I will at the later on indicate to you as to what is it that we are doing practically to attend to these issues. Of critical importance is to see to it that our citizens are provided with much needed information and tools to hold both the public and the private sector accountable. Because if we don't make them aware about this important structure and what is it that we are doing and so on, they will not be able to hold us accountable, including the private sector. And I know that more often than not, the private sector think that they are immune from this thing. Unfortunately, they are not. As a private sector, you are part of the citizens of this country, but as a private sector, you also have challenges of corruption. And more often than not, the private sector is corrupting the public sector. More often than not. Now, Bahaicho, there is a beautiful book which was written by one Ghanaian. That book is entitled, "The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born." The beautiful ones are not yet born. Which means, the beautiful ones are not yet born. Now, it paints a grim picture about Africa's underdevelopment. He attributes this trajectory to corruption, which he portrays through a character called the man. And I will not go into details, you will read for yourself because I'm not here to read that book for you. This unnamed character, who works as a railway clerk, refuses to take a bribe at work. Upon returning home, he is confronted by his wife, who does not understand why his husband refused to participate in financial dealings which would better their family's life at home. He enters, the wife says, "Hey, but we are suffering, we have all these challenges. Somebody promised you a lot of money and you refused to take this money." And what happens, because the man loves the wife very much and so on, the man immediately feels guilty, even though he knows that what he did was never wrong. So this is what we are experiencing in South Africa. Corruption is not only in government buildings, in offices and so on. Even at home, when you arrive at home, because of your economic conditions, the family will ask you a simple question. You were promised $1 million. You refused to take this $1 million. We are continuing to suffer. Why are you doing this? Do you want me to divorce you? Go and get somebody who will be able to take care of this family because you are a failure. And that thing, it will make everybody feel guilty. Or I suspect I've made a mistake. But the man did the right thing. Now, this story is similar to the experiences of many of us, as I said. So the culture of corruption has captured every sphere of our lives. Every sphere of our lives. And that is why it is important for all of us to pay special attention to deal with this cancer, which is spreading very fast. The speed there is not a high speed. It's velocity. It's the highest speed ever. And as a result of corruption, we are unable to address a number of challenges affecting our developmental trajectory, with socio-economic challenges such as unemployment and poverty, which is rising. And Northwest is very unfortunate, by the way. The highest unemployment rate in the country is in the Northwest, at 53.6%. Now, you are supposed to be very scared when you are a premier of the province, or you are a member of the executive of the province, or you are a leader at the municipal level, that the unemployment rate in your province is over 50%. It means something somewhere is not right. I was saying to Matlosana this morning, and this is what I said when we were at the BRICS summit. And I know that some amongst us felt very uncomfortable with that statement. They even said it's a diplomatic blunder, what the Premier said there and so on. Now, to show you that it's not a diplomatic blunder, I'm going to continue to repeat what I said without fail. They even said the President must call him. The President must talk to him. I'm with the President tomorrow. I will repeat it in the Presidential Coordinating Council. That statement, I will continue to repeat it. I said to her this morning, the majority of the minerals in this country are in the Northwest. In the Northwest. In the whole country. But added to that, 70% of the platinum of the whole world comes from this province. The whole world, not the country. It comes from this province. Yet, when you enter the borders of this province, you just smell poverty all over. Poverty. Yet, when Stats South Africa releases its report, it says the highest unemployment rate in the country is in the Northwest. This richest province. So it can't be. It is not possible. And that is why I said to those investors, both international investors and domestic investors, that there is nothing wrong to invest in the Northwest. There is nothing wrong to go and mine in the Northwest and do business in the Northwest. But you must invest in that province. If you don't want to invest in the Northwest, then you have no business to mine or do business in the Northwest. Go to the country or the province that you prefer. And I've said, secondly, it will be very incorrect for us as the Northwest to always export raw materials, whether to other provinces or to other countries and so on. We want to export finished products. We must commodify these raw materials as the Northwest in order to attend to this issue of this high unemployment. Because if it is going to grow and so on, it is going to be very difficult for us to win the fight against corruption. It's going to be very difficult. Because these people who are unemployed, they will do everything in their power to ensure that they've got something that they can put on the table when they arrive at home. And one of those which they can just resort to do is to get bribes, request 10 rands there, give me 20 rand, I'll talk to this MEC. Give me 100 rands, I will open doors for you in the office of the Premier and so on. Because this person is unemployed. So I will continue to make that statement, by the way. And I will never compromise. You mine in the Northwest, you must invest in the Northwest. If you don't want to invest in the Northwest, leave us alone. We'll get somebody who will be prepared to invest here. Now, while we can make a case, obviously, about lack of investment and creation of socio-economic opportunities for our people as a factor responsible for these problems, corruption is equally to blame for a lot of challenges confronting our beloved country. And let me pause a bit. I want to appeal to your inner being. That's why I'm pausing a bit when I talk about this one in particular. Now, the majority of our municipalities in the Northwest, or most of them, senior positions are vacant. That's the majority. Where those senior positions are occupied, they are occupied by people who don't have relevant academic qualifications or requisite skills to be in those positions. Now let's talk about those where you have vacancies and link it to this corruption that I'm talking about. One municipality, I will not mention it by name, two, it's in Bojanal. It's two in Bojanal. They advertise, that's the first municipality. They advertise, they interview, they get the best candidate, but somebody feels that no. I can't work this person, I feel uncomfortable. I want to work with somebody else. They don't appoint. This person gets information that she was the best and so on. She takes the municipality to court. Now the municipality is in court with this person up until today. There is no municipal manager in that municipality. Because us, as politicians, we feel that we couldn't take this one because we will not be able to control him to do all these wrong things that we want to do in that municipality. To amass this wealth, to steal state resources and so on, and for us to do so, we must get this person who will listen to us and do all these things with us. Now everybody must suffer because of me. I must not appoint an MM because I don't want this person who qualifies. Now the community in that municipality is suffering because of me and my corrupt intentions. The same applies to the second municipality, which is without an MM for more than 2 years. You interview, you get the best candidate, but you come back and say, I can't appoint this one. This person will not listen to me. Re-advertise. The municipality can't function. These are the things that we do. And our people suffer because of our corrupt intentions. And then we say it's normal. We must just allow things to continue as they are. Now it can't be business as usual. It can't be business as usual. Now I always tell people that I don't like meetings, particularly long meetings. I'm tired of meetings. I prefer more work and less talk. I prefer that we be in a meeting for 30 minutes, then we are gone. That is why I'm having 5 o'clock meetings. People think that I'm sick. 5 o'clock meeting. 5 in the morning, it's meetings at 8 o'clock, everybody must go to work. Because this thing of holding meetings from 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock and our people suffer and so on is not helping anybody. So you must wake up at 5 o'clock, let's go to a meeting at 8 o'clock, everybody must go to work. And we must start working. I know that I'm very unpopular because of that, but it's okay. Now, Deputy Chair, this province that you are in, it was placed under Section 100 of the Constitution, which means as a province we were under administration. One of the things that informed that decision was tender irregularities, fraud, maladministration, money laundering, and so on. Because of those things, we are placed under Section 100 as a province. I would have wished to report good news Good news that says after that section 100 there is a lot of improvement, but I can't, unfortunately. Because this thing of corruption and all these things, they go deep. They are not only in the Northwest. Even those, and I know that I can't make these allegations, but even those that were sent here to stabilize the province, they became part of the problem. That is why in some departments you still have this problem. We remove Tom, we say Tom is corrupt. We bring in Jerry, Jerry is also corrupt. We say, Jerry, get in there. We are removing this one. But continue with this thing, man. You know that tender, you must make sure that it goes to that person and so on. So we are not resolving these problems that we have in the country. And all the time we stand in these public platforms and we speak the whole day about corruption, anti-corruption and so on. So we need practical action. Now, I was appointed by the Premier two months ago when he got sick. Fundis, I didn't hear Barutis praying for the Premier to recover. In your prayer, I did not hear that part. I hope when we close, we will get that part. The Premier must recover, the Premier must come back to work. I want to focus in my department. So we must pray for him. He must recover as quickly as possible. So the first thing I did after being appointed by the Premier was to say, this province is on the news for all the wrong reasons. There were investigations after investigations, whether it's SIU, it's the Hawks, and so on, but it looks like there is no action. The first thing I did was to convene a meeting with SIU. I said to them, I want you to give me a report. That was last month. I want you to give me a report on the cases that you have been investigating in the Northwest and what action was taken. And they gave me that long report, very long report. And 70% of the recommendation is action which are supposed to be taken by departments, MECs, HODs, and so on against certain officials who are still in office, by the way, as we speak. And I've written to all these MECs, to all of them. And I said, the SIU has done investigation. These were the recommendations about these officials. I even wrote the name of the officials. These officials, this is what he did, and so on and so forth. What action have you taken? And I want you to give me that report, and there must be action. MECs, unfortunately, some of you, I'm still waiting for your reports. You have not responded. You have not responded. I know that you know what is going to happen tomorrow. This one is not a premier, it's an acting premier, but he's busy firing people. You have not responded. I know that the MEC for Health, yours only came yesterday. I don't know, is it because we have this event today? You did not want me to talk about you. Only came yesterday. I don't know why didn't you backdate it, because you wrote the right date, the correct date. So MECs, you now have 7 days to respond to what the acting premier have requested you to do. So we just want action. We can't be talking all the time. We don't have time for that. Now, 2 weeks ago, I'm giving you a report, you must share it with the president, that at least in the Northwest they are trying something. I met with all the law enforcement agencies, all of them. I went to their headquarters. I said, no, I don't want you to come to Mafeking. I will come to West Paul. I will come there. I went there. Provincial commissioner said he must call all of them. He called all of them. We were sitting in a meeting. But key, or the main agenda item, was a municipality that has collapsed in the Northwest Province, which is the Tsobotla. Every day on the news, where the public protector went into that municipality, did investigation, gave us a report, no action. Where up until today, we know that that municipality is unable to pay its employees because the bulk of those employees are ghost workers, no action. Where people in that municipality, when the money, equitable share, gets into the bank, that money disappears immediately. No action. And I said to them, things can't be done this way. It is not possible. It means we are condoning corruption, which is happening. But focus at that time was in this specific municipality. And I'm happy that they've responded. We now have a team established, which is now stationed there, not from that area. Because the community of the Tsobotla, they've also said, we are opening cases, nothing is happening. There is no action. That's why I said we want a team from head office. It must go and be stationed there. That team is now there. And it will be there for the next 3 weeks. And they've taken over all the cases. And we are encouraging our people in the Tsobotla to go and meet with the team and give them all the things that are happening in that municipality. That was the first one. The second one, I said, there is a need for all law enforcement agencies to work together. Because once the SIU has completed investigations and so on, somebody must come in. The Hawks must come in, the police must come in, there must be arrests. We must be seen to be doing something in this fight against crime and corruption. And I've said the problem that we have, because the police were saying, particularly on issues of drugs, and we're making example with JB Max Potchefstroom, that we know who are the kingpins, we know where they stay, we go there, we arrest them, the next day he goes to court, he's released on bail. Immediately after being released on bail, they proceed with whatever they are doing. And the unfortunate thing is that some of them, or most of them, are not South Africans. Now, you don't prepare a case without involving the NPA, because we need to work together to prepare for a case. When we go to court, we know that our case is watertight. And that's why I was saying this working together between law enforcement agencies, the NPA, and so on is very key in order for us to be able to deal with this problem once and for all. And we identified about 7 other municipalities where there are serious problems of corruption in those municipalities. And we said to the SIU, these are other 7 municipalities that we would want you to focus on, and we would want you to write to the minister in order for the president to give us a proclamation for you to get in. They've received that letter, the SIU, and I hope that they are working on that thing. So these are some of the things that we are doing as a province to attend to these things, in order for us to avoid this thing of always speaking in meetings about corruption and so on, but we don't do anything practically. There must be some practical action that we take as a province. So that's why we have decided to start here. And it does not mean that we are not going to pay a visit to the private sector. I'm the acting premier. I'm not the acting premier of the public sector. I'm the acting premier of the Northwest Province. That includes the private sector. So we are looking at you. So we are also getting into that space. Because once we deal with issues of corruption, I can tell you now, the state of our province will be better. will be able to reduce unemployment in this province, will be able to attend to issues of service delivery in this province. Tomorrow, as a province, we are in an area called Tswaying. Because as the executive, we took a decision that we are launching what is called Operation Tunzaleroli, to focus on issues of service delivery, to get into each and every municipality and assist them to do their work. And we are empowered to do so by the Constitution, Section 154. So we'll be in Tswaying. One of the biggest problems that we have in Tswaying is sewer leakages. If you go to a place called Sunnysoft, our people are getting sick every day because there is sewer spillages non-stop. There is money allocated to municipalities, either through grants and so on. Money is not spent. Money goes back to the national fiscus or is directed to another municipality when there are serious challenges. Where money is spent, we appoint this contractor for about 30 million, and we say, we are giving you this thing, it's 30 million, but 10% is mine. What this contractor does, it means he must go and look for cheap material and fix those pipes for a month. After a month, it's the same problem. We appoint another one for another 30 million again. It's just recurring all the time. So we are eating this money instead of attending to issues of service delivery. So I can assure you, Deputy Chair, that in the Northwest we are going to deal with this thing head on. We are going to deal with it head on. And like I said to you earlier on, and there's the matter, if we get an opportunity, we'll also raise in the PCC, that provinces must play their part in assisting you to be able to do your work. Because for you to be able to do this work and advise the president properly and so on, it means you need to be properly resourced to do your work. If you are not properly resourced and so on, you'll just be a committee that goes and then you can't do anything. So as provinces, we must play our role to assist the president to resource you for you to be able to do your work. Thank you very much.